Today is Sunday, the 23rd of June, 2013, and it is a super full moon. We're here at Stewart Mineral Springs at the foot of Mount Shasta, and we're still continuing with our journey about the galactic history.
Right.
And my name's Lance White, and I'm talking to Andrew Bartzis,
How you
the
doing, Lance?
galactic historian.
Nice to
Welcome.
meet
Back,
Thank
forward,
you.
and in between.
That's right, one day later.
One day later, but it seems like an eternity could have passed.
But in that eternity, we've seen so many things happen. As I've been calling before for the 21st, that they were going to go ahead and slime the internet with psychic parasites, and we witnessed it here.
Yes.
We witnessed it here.
Yes. Yes.
Our own eyes. One particular person, it came in through her cell phone, and simply made her, we'll just say, very incapable of dealing with her own energies. And then it went from one person to the other, to the other, to the other, until finally somebody was able to recognize what it was and kick it out.
Right, right. And the way that this worked was when it came through the cell phone, she wasn't getting reception, so she had to. The program was
to get reception.
Yeah,
which means she had to walk away from the hotel,
right,
down the road, where she got a hitchhiker.
A hitchhiker
that was waiting,
and that created some enormous problems.
Mm-hmm.
And physical upheavals, and that entity actually shifted into other people, and they could feel it.
Yep.
Physically as kind of a crab-like thing, grabbing onto the stomach, and then each person subsequently got sick, had to go through their own clearing processes of healing, moving it, removing, and then. And
there were an army of healers here waiting.
Yes, yes. So healing, being a healer, is a very important aspect of what's coming up, and this points out the importance of understanding how the matrix works and how the dark side is using demonic energies and attacking and a whole host of situations that can come through the technology.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were talking on an earlier episode. 65% of our population is ready to graduate. Now, this is something we were talking about off camera.
Right.
And you wanted to know numbers. 65% of us are literally just waiting for the cap and gown ceremony.
Yeah.
So the rest of those 65%, that those people are the ones that are one step away from graduation. So all this extra time they're getting now is to finish their graduation, be a part of the total graduating class. Because once you're out, you're instantly replaced with another soul who's been waiting for a very long time. Okay?
Okay.
So there'll be this mass migration out. The new souls will come in, but the people that are out will have their avatars will have left Earth and taken a home avatar somewhere else. But then they'll be able to be fully multidimensional and can have 100 parts of themselves still on Earth doing projects they want to do, so that they would say, I've never left. Because they sent a sovereign part of themselves to do something, complete a mission, teach something to the new generation. And the Atlantis and Lemuria both fell because technology that was passed from one generation to the next generation was abused, because there wasn't the same unity in generations.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Where we have to solve that problem now. We are the ones that must make sure our generation and then the 7 future generations understand the technology and don't misuse it.
Right.
And those 7 generations are responsible for the 7 generations after.
So our graduation is imminent.
It's as imminent as a no moment of no time.
Okay, and then it seem as if we're still here.
You'll be in a dream.
Okay.
And you'll wake up in a dream going, I was just walking. And from there you'll have to decide what you want to do in the dream. If you're in a fear state, well, it'll be a fear state.
Yeah.
And a fear created in a dream.
Yeah. So you don't want to shift out of this vibration and move into fear.
Correct.
So it's really important to be able to be fully present to all things that are occurring without any fear, with fearlessness. So the drama, anything that creates drama, is part of the fear process.
Right. And then there's the side that's the purgative value of being in no time dream to deal with what's making you free, what's making you in fear.
Mm.
So when they finish that concept, they'll realize the other part of the world there, that the event part of the world, they were just on pause. And they'll have to determine if that pause keeps them out of the time stream link of being, how do I describe this? 24 time zones around the world, 10 plus calendars. They won't be linked to a calendar system. So to them, 6 months could have traveled by, or 6 seconds, or no time whatsoever. It'll be how much the Dreamtime event took them out of the constraints of our time definition. Because that's essentially what the event is breaking us of, is this social agreement on time.
Yes, that's really important.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Once your stream of this consciousness of Earth-based 3D matrix time is, you know, when you used to cut triangles and X's inside papers and open them up.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do consciously.
So essentially, it is in a sense tracking the Mayan calendar, that we are moving into unity consciousness and a golden age, quote unquote. But the difference being in this time frame, or in this timescape, that in the past ages where there's been a lessening of the densities of the sine wave has stretched out, there has been no graduation. So then it's contracted and expanded, but there haven't been any graduating classes in
38,000 years.
38,000 years. So, for instance, what's happened with Sirius and some of the other planets, that
their graduation is held up by ours.
So, is this really the big plug in the drain?
It's the cork on the champagne bottle.
Oh, okay.
Everyone wins.
Okay.
Everyone gets their ascension codes.
Okay.
Because for here it's finishing the global ascension code. So all beings have the property. All beings on the graduating timeline that have proven their graduation get the code to leave.
Okay, and that means that we have access to 7 universes, and there are 11 others that we have not accessed at yet. Correct. But we have access.
But they have access. Those others have access to us.
Okay.
Okay. So we will then go out to look for them.
So this is like the Explorer race.
Yes.
I think it was David Shapiro wrote about that. Wrote a whole series called the
Explorer
Race. Yes, and they're wonderful books.
Yes, wonderful books.
Yeah. So that's what our destiny, and the illusions will drop for us. For the 65%. And then that's when you said that we will be able to develop or become familiar with the spiritual technology of being multidimensional and being anywhere, so that we can...
Many people will get something that just looks like a desk, an office chair,
right,
and a monitor, and a second room that's right next to it. It looks like a relaxation room. The desk and the monitors for the 3D Matrix U to learn to create third eye visual or hologram room. The recreation room is to learn it without doing it with the technology.
Wow. So we will have, how will this technology, how will that be provided? Is that by a higher...
The technology that's waiting to be given to us simply because we are going to complete soul codes just by allowing us to physically meet. And that, for them, is huge.
And we'll be able to converse with each other. I mean, we'll be able.
In my opinion, what I'll do, I will offer events for the Galactic families to come to Mount Shasta.
Wonderful.
And offer humans to come there at the same time and intermeet them in a ceremony.
Wow, I'm getting chills.
So we all can get along.
Oh, I'm getting chills. And then, of course, you've got the beings of Telos and the rest
all
that
of
can
them waiting there can come in.
And we can meet.
For the first time.
Of the minds.
Of the soul family minds.
Yeah, wow. That is so wonderful. And then we will be, you said that we'll have the opportunity, if we so choose, and people will have different choices available to them.
Oh, yes.
But in our development of this technology, 25 years may pass for us, while those who don't graduate, who are not ready, are still in dream time, working on the technology, and we'll have an opportunity to place an avatar.
Well, there'll be many people who go fishing for loved ones caught in those dream worlds. And that will be service to the Earth Earth's dream time because you're choosing to be a healer. You're gonna insert yourself into that reality, knowing it's fake, and do
Right.
whatever you can do to get that person to
But we won't be stuck there like we feel like we are now.
You can go in and out of it.
Like we have to incarnate through the archontic grids and
Right.
with
that's gone.
Okay, so that is being replaced,
Yes,
and that is all part of the shift
correct.
or the ascension process.
Once you take the incarnation grid completely out, back into the control of Earth, the greasy oil, the wheel's greased.
Right, and that's another question I wanted to ask you. Originally, how did the organic process of incarnation work through the earth before it was corrupted?
It was a free will incarnation pattern that everything was done through spiritual cord of equity that the earth oversaw. So you would have one family lineage, soul family lineage, another soul family lineage, another soul family lineage. If this soul family lineage had a dispute amongst itself, it would go to the earth consciousness to read the Akashic record in total to give a judgment in neutrality for that single soul family.
Oh.
If two soul families came together, they contracted Earth to look at all of them and to figure out the issue. That's how they did that.
So Earth has been basically dominated and controlled, and taken
away
out
because our genetics were changed in such a way that we no longer had the proper thing for the user manual of the human body.
And is that when the 15 families?
Well, it began before the 15 beings, because ultimately, even the other two big light and dark forces that were trying to go after Earth before the beings came in understood the importance, but the 15 beings were smarter than these other ones and weaseled their way in and locked them out.
Wow. Wow. But it wasn't through through our invitation to experience duality and hardship.
No.
It was basically, well, this looks like a good situation. Let's see how we can outsmart them. And they did.
And they did.
And the 15 families that are operating at what dimensional existence?
6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Okay. So that tells us a lot. And then the archons, which are in control of the mind control and the incarnational process,
they're the ones that oversee the courts now, where Earth doesn't oversee the courts anymore.
Earth has been completely taken out of the
court
system. Where is Earth residing?
Suppressed. That part of her will is suppressed because our race doesn't know how to create courts of equity, spiritual courts of equity.
And it's been
because it's taken away by when our oral traditions were taken away.
And the indigenous tribes were murdered intentionally and replaced with
all the pipe holders too.
And the courts that we presently have.
Because the pipe was the presence of the court. So when they shared a pipe in court and in council, that pipe was could be psychometry, could be used on it to prove that there was a court with Earth, and that would be why the pipe holders were taken. And all the warriors, all the peacemakers, all of them.
Yeah. And so what we have today, as of this moment, is multiple warring factions of the 15 families
fighting themselves internally, and fighting the other ones externally. And then trying to influence each one internally and fight each one externally.
And that
they're in each other's game.
and do they know the extent?
They've known that it was coming.
Right.
But they all have their secret projects.
Right. So and that's all going to.
That's all going to happen at the same time.
Okay. So
they all have to show their cards.
Okay.
It's a poker game right now.
Okay, and there's a moment at which you've upped the ante, and okay, what do you have? And you have no choice but to show your cards. Yeah. Will we be involved in the understanding of the process of? We will. So how will we see that manifest on the planet?
It's going to be once consciousness awakes and realizes graduation is inevitable. Inevitable. Okay. And it'll happen fast for those who want it to happen fast. Slow for those that want it to happen slow.
So you step on the accelerator of your own consciousness.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if you're going too fast, you simply step on the brakes.
Or get on the off-ramp.
Right. You be diverted by whatever. It lowers your vibration.
Or the truck stop, whatever.
Right. We have somebody here that... is a for the oil industry.
Yep, for the oil
that will all have to go away too, right? Because the strangle...
Those people in those jobs, their jobs will be to travel the world. That's their new job.
And what will be done with the technology that's already existing? Will that be just simply scrapped under
The energy will be changed.
it will, yes,
It'll
because
be
it's been
it's-
used for dark
right.
purposes and it's been kept
Its
in
energies will be unmanifested, cleansed, and then remanifested into Earth's consciousness, because that's Earth consciousness energy that she's provided as background material.
And then she will be making an appearance, being manifest.
She will manifest herself to take over all physical transactions between people.
Oh, wonderful! So there will be a true energy exchange, not a fake monetary system of control and domination.
There will be a true energy exchange system that will be in complete transparency, because it's the Earth sentience that is the judge of it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that happen. I mean, I've seen it in my mind's eye, so I know that it, and that's why I get so frustrated with the system not collapsing, because I can see the potential for what's coming. It seems like it's just around the corner, and then it never arrives. It's like a carrot and a stick, you know? It's like, okay, there's a whole banking system waiting to be rolled out. Now, somebody talked about that tonight, the banking...
I don't think there's even going to be an intermediary banking system.
So
I think personally, there's enough people that are awake,
right,
and there's enough people who are asleep, who are starving,
yes,
that they'll be far more receptive.
Yes, yes, and that's all the result of the control and
that will make the event travel faster, because those people were starving and have
right.
food and consciousness exploring devices and homes.
Right, and it could be an instant transmutation
For weeks.
Right, okay, right, weeks.
I mean, and then their culture has to survive the change.
Right.
Because there'll be elderly that won't use the technology, or just is not in a conscious state to even begin to try, and they'll need to be healed enough till they can use the devices.
Is it possible that many will depart, through physical death, and then simply...
Some will just get it and unmanifest the body. They won't...
Okay.
They're just done.
Will people that literally disappear from view?
No.
It will be more like everything will be...
People will be present, and
okay.
they'll take their last breath.
Okay.
And the body, they'll leave.
Okay.
And when they're ready, they can send another part back.
Huh.
Not to the dead being, it's
Well,
just
right.
another being that can project and exist there.
What part will walk-ins play?
As people graduate, as soon as you graduate, there's somebody who takes your place. There's going to be such a big graduation here, and then a new incoming of spirit. The graduating class is going to create free-willed perversions of itself that go back to Earth to teach the new people coming in.
Free will versions.
Free will versions
Okay,
of
I thought you said
itself
free
in
will
a free
okay.
in a free will
Okay.
total Earth free will environment.
Okay. All right.
This is what the Pleiadians, Assyrians, all of them, they're doing to us now. They're projecting energy to us so that we can finish this change, so that they can finish their changes too.
Because they're all held up, right?
Held up.
And in fact, the Greys are held up.
All
The whole ascension process is held up by this bottleneck
Yep.
that's been created by the 15 families and the resulting time wars
Yep.
and the problems that those have
Think
created.
of it as Earth is pregnant right now, and this migration away is the finishing of the pregnancy.
So it really is giving birth.
Yes.
Will there be a physical Earth as we know it?
Yes.
But it will be transformed, yes, because of
The event is essentially the afterbirth and the placenta.
Oh, it could be messy, but no worse than what we have now, which is this abundant.
At least we're not getting a C-section.
Oh, ooh, yeah, and there won't be any drugs involved.
Some people might want them.
Right. Well, there's mushrooms and other things that people like to do. So, okay. So the 65% are ready, and then there will be a percentage that will be in dream time, but they will be searching for we will be able to assist them in a sense like an ascended master. I don't like to use that term.
There will be ascended masters here.
Okay.
In the air cities, in
Oh.
the dream worlds. In the physical world that your avatar is still residing in is your manifested reality, which will be based on the local realities of the first people who realize they're awake. And then the local realities will shift as people go and live with their soul family.
Oh, right.
So the Earth literally is going to change as people begin to filter to their right places.
Right, right. So all this will be happening simultaneously.
Yeah. Well, there has to be the graduation party, cap and
Okay.
gown ceremony, graduation party, meet your soul family.
Okay.
So and synchronicities happen everywhere, and everybody finishes it, and poof, you're in the air.
And how long will the graduating party last?
As long as you want it.
Oh, wonderful. So there could be a few years anyway, of people recognizing each other as soul family. And now there's a slight little problem in that the 15 families that have created this big mess are also part of our soul family.
That's right, the rotten part.
Right. So what do we have to learn how to recognize? What do we do with the parts of our soul family that need to be exorcised or removed?
We aren't the ones that are going to be doing the mass removal.
Oh, thank you.
Okay? We're not at the state that our consciousness is unified enough
Right.
to truly understand
Right.
the depth, the breadth, what they've done.
Right. I mean, we've just barely touched upon it, and then we were.
Without help, we would have never even known we're a race with amnesia.
Right. 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 So then there will be a percentage of new souls that have come in that will just continue in a higher dimensional reality.
Well, it'll
Cleaner.
be fourth, and the effects of third will still be there, but the people that come in will change and alter the Earth in such a way that it becomes more multidimensional, so that the Earth can return to its seventh dimension, the galactic seed planet status.
And so the graduation includes moving to the seventh dimension, basically.
No, up one.
Up one.
It has to go up one at a time because the new consciousness comes in,
Okay.
and then that remaining consciousness that didn't graduate the first time graduates. A whole new one comes in. The monkey cage gets cleaned out.
Oh, so where did the 65% end up? Is that what we're talking about?
When we graduate, the 65%, you return home to your original soul planet.
Okay, and that'll be different for
Each and every one of us.
But we could have multiple. So could we? Well,
multiple. You can have multiple.
You can have
many
multiple.
of you will, and you'll make a choice. How
Which-
many parts do you want to make,
Oh,
and where does your avatar want to go?
and that could be any dimension, right? That pretty
Well,
much.
planet where you're still going to function. You got to finish your galactic version.
Okay.
You're the micro that has just become the macro.
Okay,
Now
so
you must go learn the macro world.
So when we're talking about moving to ascending to a fifth dimensional vibration, the graduating class might quickly shift through fourth.
And go right to 6, go to 5th and a quarter.
Okay,
Right.
okay, but it'll be wherever we feel most
Necessary.
comfortable and where our vibration matches, where our vibrational fit. But it'll be a win-win situation, right?
Yes.
Because it will be, we will all have graduated wherever we end up, and we'll also be able to communicate with each other.
Yes, never lose communication.
And
with
never
family.
have to go through that horrible, feeling of fragmentation and isolation and all that other stuff that's been going on for millions of years.
Yeah.
Good. Now, this attack that I witnessed, and I've never seen. I've read about so many different forms of psychic and demonic attacks over the years, but this was really a living demonstration. So we're to expect this to be occurring because the 15 families are ramping up
They're paying overtime to their franchises
to
operate under data mining for physical understanding of the people so they can pass off the dossier of the people to the influencer groups.
and there are whole layers of control that
And
that
they
function.
target you based off of your soul family. So
Ah.
they're preventing you from eating soul family. On the other end, there are those that are just to create drama so groups fall apart,
right,
which was what happened here.
which is what
It
happened.
was a drama entity.
Yes, yes. So one thing that we need to watch out for is anything that creates drama. You can almost instantly know that is some form of the.
The harder core drama. I mean, there's light
Right.
core drama that's not.
Well,
that's
right,
dead.
right,
Yeah.
There's life and death drama. There's somebody up here whose husband is in jail, who's a super soldier.
Yep.
And you know, that story has been circulated in other radio shows.
Mhm.
But there are millions of those out there. And then there are millions of targeted individuals, which is something
Exactly.
that's just
and they're
being...
targeted for many reasons.
So, and then we're all living under under the blanket.
Under the eye.
Under the eye. Almost like the Tolkien's The Ring Trilogy.
That's right.
Yeah, very similar to that, isn't it? And in fact,
Very metaphorical.
yeah, he studied this whole situation, and yeah, exactly. So it is like the eye. Well, okay, that seems like a good place for us to take a short break
Okay.
in part 8, and then we'll pick it up when we get back and continue
nine.
in part 9.
Right.
All right,
Awesome.
thank you, Andrew.